Mucus in the back of your throat can feel small, but it can control your entire day. You clear your throat in meetings. You cough at night. You wake up feeling like something is stuck back there. Most people assume it's allergies or a cold, so they grab medication and hope for the best. But here's what most don't realize: mucus is not random. It's protective. Your body only produces excess mucus when it's irritated, inflamed, or fighting something. The real question is, what is triggering that response? One of the biggest mistakes people make is jumping straight to antibiotics. If your issue is viral, antibiotics won't help at all. Instead,
A large
they
portion
wipe out
of your
beneficial
immune defense
bacteria
lives
that support
in
your
and
immune
around
system.
friendly
Microbes. When those microbes get wiped out, you create an imbalance. That imbalance can open the door for fungal overgrowth, yeast issues, and even chronic sinus irritation. Now, instead of one problem, you've created two. This is especially important in the upper respiratory tract. When bacteria are suppressed too aggressively, fungal organisms can expand. These fungi naturally exist in small amounts, but when their competition disappears, they multiply. That can lead to chronic sinus congestion, thicker mucus, recurring throat clearing, and even irritation in other areas of the body. Many people notice their sinus problems actually worsen after taking antibiotics. That's not a coincidence, it's a shift in microbial balance. Now let's talk about one major root cause most people completely overlook: acid reflux, specifically GERD. GERD happens when the valve at the top of the stomach doesn't close properly. Stomach contents travel upward into the esophagus and sometimes reach the throat. That acid irritates delicate tissues. When the throat gets irritated, it produces mucus to protect itself. Many people have throat mucus from reflux and never feel heartburn, so they don't connect the dots. Here's where it gets interesting. The common treatment for reflux is acid-blocking medication. But in many cases, the real issue isn't too much acid. It's too little acid. When stomach acid is weak, food doesn't digest properly. That creates pressure and gas, which forces stomach contents upward. So reducing acid further may temporarily reduce burning, but it can prolong the root issue. That means mucus continues because irritation continues. There's a simple way to evaluate whether reflux could be your trigger. Notice if you also experience bloating, indigestion, or gas after meals. Pay attention if your throat mucus worsens after eating. These patterns matter. When digestion improves, reflux often improves. And when reflux improves, the protective mucus response usually settles down as well. The key is always targeting the root cause instead of suppressing the signal. Another extremely common cause is postnasal drip. This happens when mucus forms in the sinuses and drains down the back of the throat. It can be caused by bacteria, viruses, fungi, or even environmental irritation. The mucus may appear clear, white, yellow, or green. Color can offer clues, but it's not definitive. Clear or white often suggests viral or allergic triggers. Yellow or green can suggest bacterial involvement. But combinations can happen too. There's also something called biofilm that plays a role in chronic sinus issues. A biofilm is a protective layer formed by groups of microbes. Think of it like a shield. Microorganisms gather together and create a slimy coating that helps them resist treatment. This makes infections more stubborn. Biofilms can exist naturally in the body, but when overgrown, they contribute to persistent sinus congestion and ongoing mucus production. If you've had sinus issues that never fully resolve, biofilm involvement is possible. People often describe year-round congestion, difficulty breathing through the nose, and chronic throat clearing. Sometimes symptoms worsen after a course of antibiotics. That pattern suggests the ecosystem shifted and allowed resistant organisms to dominate. Instead of blasting everything again, a smarter approach focuses on balance and gentle support. Environmental allergies are another major trigger. When your immune system reacts to pollen, dust, or mold, it increases mucus production to trap and remove irritants. If your mucus is seasonal or worsens in specific environments, that's a strong clue. Indoor allergens like pet dander or mold can also cause low-grade irritation. The body responds the only way it knows how, by producing more protective fluid. Food sensitivities can also drive mucus production. Dairy is a common contributor for many individuals. While not everyone reacts, some people experience increased throat congestion after consuming milk or cheese. If you suspect this, removing dairy temporarily can provide insight. When the irritant is removed, the mucus response often decreases. Again, the body is reacting to something. The goal is identifying what that something is. Before jumping into remedies, it's critical to understand this. Mucus itself is not the enemy. It is a defense mechanism. Your body is intelligent. It produces mucus to trap irritants, microbes, and inflammatory triggers. Suppressing it without understanding why it's there can backfire. That's why the smartest strategy always starts with investigation. Where is the mucus originating? Sinuses, throat, stomach, environment? Food? When you identify the source, solutions become clearer and far more effective. Let's now focus on sinus-related mucus and post-nasal drip because this is where many people struggle the most. If mucus is draining from your sinuses into your throat, the goal is simple: reduce irritation, lower microbial overgrowth, and support healthy drainage. One of the most basic but effective tools is a saline rinse. A properly diluted saltwater solution can help flush out irritants, thin mucus, and reduce microbial activity. Salt has natural antimicrobial properties and can disrupt biofilms that allow microbes to cling to sinus tissues. Using a nasal rinse device, the saline solution flows in one nostril and exits the other. It may feel unusual at first, but when done properly, it's safe and effective. The key is using sterile or distilled water and the correct salt concentration. Many people notice improvement within days when consistent. For mild congestion, this alone can significantly reduce post-nasal drip and throat mucus. For more stubborn cases, thinning mucus becomes important. Thick, sticky mucus traps organisms and prolongs irritation. Supporting hydration is critical. Drinking adequate water helps naturally thin secretions. Warm showers or steam inhalation can also encourage drainage. When mucus flows instead of stagnating, symptoms often decrease. Movement and posture also matter. Lying flat can worsen drainage into the throat at night. If throat mucus seems localized lower, around the larynx or tonsils, irritation there can drive chronic clearing and hoarseness. The voice box is sensitive. Reflux, infection, dryness, or overuse can inflame it. When inflamed, mucus increases to protect tissues. People often describe constant throat clearing or feeling like they need to swallow repeatedly. That's the body attempting to manage irritation. Supporting immune balance is critical, regardless of cause. The immune system ultimately clears infections and reduces inflammation. Supporting vitamin D levels, ensuring adequate zinc intake, and maintaining overall nutrient sufficiency helps immune regulation. Sleep, stress management, and proper nutrition are not secondary. They are foundational. When immunity is strong and balanced, mucus production normalizes faster. Garlic has long been recognized for antimicrobial properties. It contains compounds that can help the body defend against microbes. Reducing sugar intake is equally important, particularly if fungal overgrowth is suspected. Yeast and fungi thrive on sugar. When dietary sugar decreases, microbial balance often improves. If coughing accompanies mucus, especially at night, irritation of the throat muscles may be contributing. Coughing can become reflexive. When throat tissues calm down, coughing decreases. Keeping air humidified during dry seasons can prevent excess irritation. Dry air thickens mucus and worsens discomfort. Simple environmental adjustments sometimes provide significant relief. Another often overlooked factor is muscle tension in the neck. The back of the neck contains nerve pathways connected to throat and sinus regions. Gentle pressure techniques in this area have been reported to reduce congestion and throat irritation for some individuals. While the exact mechanism isn't fully understood, muscle relaxation and improved circulation may play a role in symptom reduction. Chronic throat mucus is rarely random. It usually follows patterns. Does it worsen after meals? That suggests reflux. Is it worse during allergy season? That suggests environmental triggers. Is it constant year-round after antibiotic use? That suggests microbial imbalance. Observing patterns empowers you to choose the right strategy instead of guessing blindly. The biggest mistake people make is suppressing symptoms repeatedly without understanding cause. Decongestants dry tissues temporarily but can cause rebound congestion. Acid blockers may reduce discomfort short-term but may not solve digestive weakness. Antibiotics can wipe out beneficial microbes if used inappropriately. A thoughtful approach avoids creating new imbalances while trying to fix the original issue. The body heals best when supported, not overpowered. Balance, drainage, nutrition, and targeted support go further than aggressive suppression. If symptoms persist or worsen significantly, professional medical evaluation is important to rule out structural issues or serious conditions. But for many people, correcting underlying triggers leads to noticeable improvement. Now let's talk about long-term prevention, because eliminating mucus once is good, but preventing its return is better. The first principle is simple: protect your microbial balance. Your body is home to trillions of organisms that work with you, not against you. When that balance is disrupted, symptoms appear. Be cautious with unnecessary medications that alter that ecosystem. When antibiotics are required, use them appropriately under medical supervision, but avoid casual overuse. Afterward, focus on rebuilding balance through proper nutrition and lifestyle habits. Digestion plays a bigger role than most people realize. If food sits too long in the stomach, pressure builds upward. That pressure contributes to reflux and throat irritation. Eating slowly, avoiding overeating, and not lying down immediately after meals can reduce that upward pressure. Smaller meals and chewing thoroughly help digestion work efficiently. When digestion improves, reflux-related mucus often improves as well. Next, reduce inflammatory foods that may trigger excess mucus production. For some people, dairy contributes to thicker secretions. For others, processed foods high in sugar increase microbial imbalance. You don't have to eliminate everything forever, but identifying personal triggers can change everything. A short elimination period can reveal surprising connections between food and throat symptoms. Environmental awareness matters too. If indoor air is dry, use a humidifier. If mold exposure is suspected, address it directly. Change air filters regularly. Reduce dust accumulation. Small environmental upgrades can dramatically decrease immune irritation. Your body constantly reacts to what surrounds it. Cleaner air equals less defensive mucus production. Stress is another hidden factor. Chronic stress suppresses immune balance and increases inflammation. When stress hormones stay elevated, healing slows. Prioritizing sleep, sunlight exposure, physical activity, and relaxation techniques supports immune resilience. A resilient immune system regulates mucus properly instead of overproducing it. Hydration cannot be overstated. Thick mucus thrives in dehydration. Drinking enough water daily keeps secretions thin and mobile. Herbal teas and warm fluids can be soothing for irritated throats. Think of hydration as lubrication for your entire respiratory tract. If you experience recurring hoarseness, persistent throat pain, difficulty swallowing, or unexplained weight loss, seek medical evaluation. While most throat mucus is benign, persistent red flag symptoms deserve professional assessment. Responsible health decisions include knowing when self-care is appropriate and when expert care is necessary. Ultimately, your immune system is the healer. Remedies assist, but they don't replace your body's intelligence. When you reduce irritation, improve digestion, balance microbes, and support immunity, mucus naturally declines. The goal isn't to silence the signal, it's to remove the trigger. Chronic throat mucus can feel frustrating, embarrassing, and exhausting. But once you understand why it's happening, you regain control. Instead of guessing, you observe patterns. Instead of suppressing symptoms, you correct causes. That shift changes everything. If this information helped you understand your body better, share it with someone constantly clearing their throat. They might need this more than they realize. This video is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always consult a qualified healthcare provider before making changes to medications, supplements, or treatment plans, especially if you have existing medical conditions. If you experience severe or persistent symptoms, seek medical care promptly. Thank you for watching. If you found value in this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Stay informed, stay empowered, and I'll see you in the next video.